Hello Hachil, this is the second lesson on proportionality. This lesson's title is direct proportion. The keywords we are going to use today are direct proportion, letter K which stands for constant, and proportional to. The equipment we are going to need today are pen, paper, and ruler. We don't really need calculators. Okay, let's before we start the lesson, we have to understand what direct proportion means. Um, Direct proportion means just let's think about two numbers, two things that are proportional to each other. Uh, if one of them goes up, the other one will go up, but with the same amount. For example, if something gets bigger twice, the other number will have to get bigger twice. Okay, so that is called direct proportionality. If something gets bigger twice and the other number gets bigger three times, that is not direct proportionality. Okay, so let's begin the lesson. When two quantities x and y, for example, are directly proportional with each other, we can link them with the symbol that symbol there, this one here. So that is directly proportional. That's how you read it, and that's how we write that. So when you want to read that, you read it as y is directly proportional to x. Okay, or we can also say for this part y varies directly with x. Okay, and I know that equation here, it doesn't make sense that much in terms of mathematics. I mean, what can we do with this? Can we solve it? What can we do? So you can change that weird looking sign with equal and a K. That letter K. So the whole thing that y is directly proportional to x, you can write it like y equal kx. So these two are exactly the same thing. Okay, and k is a constant. That means it's a number. It could be anything. It could be 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to find it later on when we see an example. Okay, so don't worry too much about it. I'm going to do a couple of examples and then hopefully you will understand it. It's very easy. Okay, so these are all the steps we need to take for solving a direct proportionality. So I know at the moment it doesn't make sense, but later on you can come back to this slide and then copy that in your book. So let's do example. So here we got the question. It says y is directly proportional to x. Okay, so let's focus on this first part of the question. How do we write that? We write it like this: y is directly proportional to x. That's only for this part. And remember what we said, it doesn't really make sense, this sign, so we have to turn it to something mathematically that we can solve it. So we turn it to this. Instead of that sign, we put equal and k. So that part is exactly the same as this part, which describes this part. Y is directly proportional to x. Now, let's use the second part of the question. It says when y is 30, x is 5. So they're giving us some information. Y is 30, x is 5. That is a part of the information the question has given us. So I'm just going to substitute 30 and 5 into this little equation and then see what we get for k. So we get 30 equal k 5. So let's solve and find out what k is. So divide both sides by 5. We want to get rid of this 5. So divide by 5 both sides and then you get k is equal 6. Okay, so now you got your k is equal 6. So we can write our original equation, which was this one. but instead of k, we can put 6. That's what we get. Y equal 6x. And that is the formula for this question. Because the k is constant, is always 6 for this question. Okay, so you got half of the mark so far. Now let's see what the question is asking us to find out. It says write an equation linking x and y. That's what we did, is linking x and y. Second part, it says find the value of x if y is 48. So if y is 48, what would the x be? So instead of y, I'll put 48. 6 stays as 6, and then x is something that we need to find out. If we want to find out this equation, we need to get rid of 6. So divide both sides by 6, and then you get x is equal 8. So when y is 48, x would be 8. Okay. Here is another question for you to try. Pause the video, have a go. Once you finish, we go through the answers together. Okay, let's go through the answers together. First, we have to write the first sentence. So y is directly proportional to x, like that. And then we make it more mathematical, which is going to look like this. Now, we have some more information. We're going to put those into our equations. 10 and 4. Let's put them there and then see what we get for k. 10 equal k 4. So divide both sides by 4, and then you get k equal 2.5. So our equation for this question would be that y is equal 2.5x. Can you see? Instead of k, we put 2.5. That's half of the mark so far. Now let's see what the question is asking. Work out the value of y when x is 3. So when that x is 3, what would the y be? So instead of x, we put 3. So 2.5 times 3, y would be equal to 7.5. Okay, example. I do the first one, and then you can have a go on the second one. E is directly proportional to the square of f. So I'm just going to write that in a simple way. E is equal proportional to a square of f, not f, a square of f. Now let's make it more mathematical. Get rid of this sign, put equal and k. There we go. Now use this information. Instead of E, put 72, and instead of F, put 6. And that's what we get. Simplify it. 6 squared would be 36. There we go. And then find the value for K. So divide both sides by 36, and you get K equal to 2. Now you can write your equation for this question, which would be this one, but instead of k, you put 2. There you go. That is your equation that can solve all the problems for this question. Now, let's see what the question is asking us to do. Find the value of f, find f, when e is 50. So that e is 50. So let's put 50 instead of e. There we go. Now, solve that equations. So get rid of 2 first, divide both sides by 2, you get 25 equal f squared, and then square root both sides, you get f is equal 5. Okay, here is your question for you to try. Pause the video, have a go, and then we go through the answers together. Okay, so let's go through the answers together. Hopefully everybody started like this, and then made it more mathematical, like that. And then put those values instead of f and e, like that. Simplify that. 10 squared is 100. Find the value for k. K is 3. And then write the equation for this question, which would be that. Now that equation will solve all the problem for this question. Now let's see what they are asking for. Find the value of E when f is 20. So that f is 20. So if I put f as equal to 20, I get E equal 1200. Okay. Here is another question. It's exactly the same as what we did, but it's in a different format. They are asking the same thing. So A and B are directly proportional. So that's what we write. A and B are directly proportional. A equal KB. And then instead of using A and B to find, we need to use A and B to find value for K. So we use the middle part, this one, because for this one we have A and B. So we use this A and B. So we put it in, instead of A and B, here we put 6 and 15 to find out the value for K. So once we find out the value for K, then we can write the equation for this question. And now using this, we can solve all the problem for this question. So if A is 2, we can find B, and so on. Okay, and then we complete the table. Okay, here are 3 questions for you. 3 sections for you. Have a go on those questions. Once you finish, take a picture and upload it on ClassChart. Okay, have a good rest of the day.